Let's talk about why my most recent video success. Okay, so if you watched my most recent video, you may have noticed it's really, really bad. And if you read the description, which I don't know why you would have, but if you did, you would have seen that I acknowledged that it sucks ass and that I did not give myself enough time to do something good. And I said I was going to explain it, so here we are explaining it. So I have like this entire week off, and that's because like 2 weeks ago I was feeling extremely burnt out, so I took a week of vacation, because I do get 2 weeks of vacation a year. But now I am feeling like trash, so the idea I had for this weekend's VFX is probably too complicated. I could do it, but I just don't want to. So it's Wednesday. I have this entire week off, but I've mostly just been taking it to, be lazy. Today I actually am pretty busy, but I'm going to start on my VFX shot today at some point, because this week my idea involves modeling part of it, not just buying a model, which is good because I need to practice modeling. The idea is pretty complicated for me. It's not complicated for, like, as far as VFX go. It's just complicated because I'm still pretty beginner. But I'll explain more of it as we're going on right now, but like, I've got to go, so I just wanted to make this video while I was thinking about it so I could stick it in. Basically, I'm getting started today on a Wednesday, even though I normally don't start until Saturday, because I have the day off. I have the week off, and I'm trying to do something a little bit more complicated this week, so we'll see how it goes. I'm probably going to be modeling in Rhino. I think I still have a free trial of Rhino that doesn't end until October. So if that's correct, then I will be modeling in Rhino. If not, then I'll be modeling in Houdini. I model in Houdini most of the time anyway, so that's fine. I'd probably prefer that. But recently I've been modeling in Rhino for work, so it's just what's on my mind, so it'd be easier to not switch it up at the last minute right now. So Rhino 6 crashes every time I try to record myself modeling in it through OBS. So I'm going to assume that either Rhino specifically does not allow you to record in it for like safety reasons, because the people that use Rhino mostly are companies that are under NDA and whatnot, or it's just too much load on my computer. Either way, I'm just not going to try anymore because I did that, but I've started modeling, and I will show you where I'm at. So I have a basic model of one earpiece. It's got 3 different pieces at the moment. The base here, which is just going to go over the ear. Currently it's just closed off at the bottom. Then we have this piece here so that it can rotate from the middle of this. This is not in the right spot. Hold on. Oh my gosh. So this can rotate around like that from the middle. And then this piece here, which is on some hinges and can rotate, oopsie, rotating in our direction, basically like that. Basically, I'm just going to be adding a piece that comes out to like meet at the bridge, and then I'm just going to be mirroring this and exporting it, and it's just going to be able to rotate up and down and in and out. It's based off of this design that I saw on like a DIY YouTuber's account that he made for real. He 3D printed it and whatnot. So I will
link that since it's the inspiration and I did not come up with it. But I'm hoping to make it more futuristic looking. I'm definitely going to texture it really cool in substance. So hopefully this turns out. I've never actually done the full pipeline in Rhino for like texturing and animating, so we'll see how it goes. But I just wanted to really give it a try. I have like 46 days left of my free trial, so next semester I need to sign up for a class so that I can get the student version of Rhino, because it's a complete version of Rhino that you can use for commercial work with no limitations for $800 off. But you have to have a syllabus. Yeah, I need to do that next semester. Just sign up for some dumb class so that I can get it. Sorry, McNeil, I don't have $1,000 to spend on your program. I'm not pirating your software, McNeil. Don't sue me. Side effects are a different story. Your software costs $5,000 a year. I'm not spending that. Your student version is not usable, so fuck off. Someday I'll be able to afford it, but not today. Anyway, I'll probably do the actual like mask part in Blender, because I think I can use the model of my head to get the general shape and then just kind of bend something around my head. We'll see. I'm not entirely certain how that's going to work. And then, of course, if it becomes too complicated to track my head, I might just do a static shot, which isn't going to look as cool, but it's still the same idea. So when I film it, I'm probably going to do 3 different versions. So today, I just let myself do video games. I just decided it was that day. So I did that. I figured I should use my vacation to actually like do something relaxing instead of fretting about the things that I should do because I have vacation time. So I did. But now I need to get a PSL because it's PSL season. And this bitch loves himself some pumpkin spice.
The season of the pumpkin has officially begun.
So it's Saturday now. This afternoon I went and had lunch with David at a park. We social distanced in a gazebo, and then we flipped off a Trump boat rally. So that was fun, but it was not working on my VFX shot. And I have decided that what I was doing is ambitious enough that I can't get it done unless I had started on Monday and was working on it the whole week. And I kind of knew that, which is why I was planning on doing this week when I had all the time. But then I kind of messed that up by just not doing it. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to do it this week, but I'm not going to just throw it out. I like the idea and I think it will be cool. So I'm going to keep working on it slowly over time, because it does require modeling and texturing on my end and some other tracking stuff I haven't done. But I want to do it. So I'm going to keep working on it slowly, and this weekend, probably tomorrow, which is Sunday, and Monday, because it is Labor Day, so I have the day off, I will throw together something else. I've come up with a different idea. I'm trying to make this both actually productive in learning and actually something that I'll end up doing, because I don't want to just be like pushing myself to do something so much that I hate doing it and then quit. So I don't want to like miss my deadlines, because then I'll just never pick it back up. So I'm just going to try and do something a little bit easier this week and then do the harder thing over time. I can't wait until I can go out and make another short film with people. People are my creative energy. I needed to do something because it was my weekend to do something. So I ended up going with a different type of tracking shot. I still wanted to do something that required me to camera track in Blender, because that's something I have not been able to figure out for more than just a few very quick shots. So I did this shot that was a basic handheld shot looking towards my door with just some basic handheld movement. I brought it into Blender and I tracked it, and I could get the track perfect for 132 frames, which is not very long. After that, the camera was going all sorts of places, and I didn't know how to fix it, and I didn't care. So I took that track and I made a basic model of the doorway. I got the proper measurements for my door and made a door cutout, and then the walls, and then made a basic kitchen with a block for a fridge and a table, and put the same model that I used for the last video just in the kitchen, moving around talking. And then I rendered it out. And it didn't render with transparency. So I spent something like 6 hours trying to figure out what the problem was. And I don't remember what the problem was. I don't think I even ever actually knew what really was going wrong. It just eventually worked when I changed something. So that was very frustrating. And then when it came out, it was only a few seconds, and it didn't look very good. But then I was like, well, I gotta do something, so I'll do this, I'll bring it into After Effects. We'll make something out of this that's like looking through a wall with like X-ray vision. So I brought it into After Effects and started the comp, and I did the entire composition and hit render, and it rendered out the blank slate of just the camera movement on the door. Just the original shot that I took. This shot right here, that's just the door. So I tried rendering it out a different way. I tried selecting other things. I did that. I rendered out like 5 or 6 times to no avail. And I could not find anything online. Eventually I figured out that if you rotoscope in quarter view, where it's showing you playing back the video in quarter quality so that it's not slow, it doesn't rotoscope properly in full, so there is no rotoscoping. So the top layer I have that's cutting out the desk, because I had to cut out the desk because it gets in front of the door a little bit, was rotoscoped in quarter, but not in full resolution. So I had to go back and rotoscope it in full resolution and then export it. So I did that. And then the export was choppy. I did not figure that out, and at that point I was just done. So I took the video where everything's flickering and I cut it in a way that it made it part of the story. And that's the video. It sucks, I hate it, but it did give me more experience tracking a camera in Blender. It did give me a lot of experience problem solving in After Effects and in Blender, and it's something. I am not dropping my original idea either, by the way. I'm gonna go back and do that slowly, one piece at a time. I'm working on modeling the actual headset piece for the mask that I want, and then I'm going to work on texturing it, and then I'm going to figure out the facial tracking and using my LiDAR scanned head as like a mask out for that, and seeing how that all works. And then slowly over time I'll do that, and eventually that will be one of my effects. I don't want to seem like I'm just copping out every single other week when I come to post these videos, coming up with a great idea and then being like, well, no, can't do it. Here's a shittier idea. But part of the every other week schedule is to force me to do something that I can do, even if it's not good, instead of not do anything because the thing I wanted to do was too hard to figure out in the amount of time that I had available for me. So yes, this week was kind of a cop-out because I had the entire week off and could have spent it doing a much more intricate scene. But I really did need the time to just not think about anything and not do anything. And so I used it that way. And this Weekend VFX series is slowly allowing me to gain the skills I need to make a better VFX shot when I actually need it for telling a story or presenting some cool concept in the future. So even though this week was a failure, in my opinion, looking at the main video that I produced, it wasn't a failure in the way that it made me think about troubleshooting and rendering and camera tracking more in depth on a tight schedule, just figuring it out and doing something, getting it done. Because procrastination is the main thing I struggle with. We talked about it last week very briefly. That's what I ended up titling the video for the last Weekend VFX shot behind the scenes. It really is something that I've got to get over as a creator and as a person, is just putting everything off until the last minute, doing everything as quickly and easily as possible. So taking the time to learn the things I was doing this week, even though the end product wasn't as good, is an overall net gain for me as a person. Anyway, hopefully next time it's better.